Many years ago, I used to message my fans, but not in a creepy way like a lot of you are trying to suggest. It was more of a loser kind of way. But I was just trying to be best.
I'm just a loser. I'm a loser, you 14 and 13-year-olds. Any 13-year-old losers just like me that I can contact and be besties with because we're all losers together, we'll call ourselves the Weenies. Did no one see any red flags here the whole time? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. All right, well, yeah, content warning for this, if you haven't already been paying attention. There's a lot of sides of the internet, a lot of corners of the internet I'm not aware of because they are just not the entertainment that I think I'm the target demographic for, and Miranda Sings would fall in that category. I don't watch Miranda Sings. This isn't a devastating period in my personal internet history because of a hero of mine who has now fallen off or something like that. This is more a bizarre oddity of which I didn't think I would be suddenly witnessing before my very eyes, of someone who has been credibly accused of having inappropriate relationships with not only their fans but children, 14-year-old boys, and responds to said accusations with a downplaying of the accusations, you know, in the same way that anyone who's credibly accused of stuff like Alex Jones will try to either exaggerate or act as nothing has happened, you know, be like, oh yes, I did everything, I did 9/11, I caused cancer, I caused AIDS, I did everything, I'm the cause of all the problems in the world. Well, no, you're exaggerating because you don't want to accept responsibility for the very specifically bad things that I'm accusing you of right now. In this case, hey, you're downplaying a lot of the very credible accusations by, again, old fans of yours who have long documented your history of grooming them. There are people who are older now. I believe the number one accuser in question happens to be 20, but they were 14 at the time that this was going down, where this content creator, who now has over 20 million combined subs between all her channels and her own Netflix show, apparently was contacting a lot of her younger fans and started a secret club for her younger fans, which she called the Weenies. And the Weenies were a group of individuals who she would get to go around and do OPSEC for her and promote stuff for her. Unpaid labor, basically, going around finding out dirt on people that she didn't like, on her enemies, and even specifically on her ex-husband on a regular basis. And keep in mind, by the way, these are children. These are 14-year-olds who are being asked to uncover stuff about my ex and find out dirt on him, and a lot of other weird behavior. Eventually it led to her sending lingerie, a bra and panties, to one of these 14-year-old, again, massive fans of hers. And this 14-year-old, years down the road, ended up speaking out alongside a whole bunch of other members of the quote-unquote Colleen's Weenies, who were the underage fan group of hers. This is one of those things I wouldn't have had any idea existed until I started seeing this fucking ukulele song pop up all over Twitter. And like I said, I ignored the first couple. You're scrolling through and you go like this. And you're like, yeah, I don't care. What's this? I don't care. Oh, there's like 4 or 5. Okay, people I know are posting it. What's this all about? And you click on it. And of course, it's the weirdest thing you've seen. It's someone singing a song about how they're not a groomer. Play just a couple seconds so you can just get a vibe before we do the background.
Since you saw my face. I haven't been doing so great, so I took a little break. So a lot of people are saying some things about me that aren't quite true. Doesn't matter if it's true though, just as long as it's entertaining to you.
Well, let's find out. I don't want to get ahead of this, all right? Because I did a deep dive into all of this. I've pre-watched it, and I've learned some things and seen some things, and wish I could unlearn a handful of things. But I guess the start of this is, who exactly is this content creator? This is one of the most famous YouTubers in history. Again, over 20 million subscribers between all of her channels, and rose to the point where her signature character, called Miranda, got her own Netflix special called Haters Back Off. So this is the character of Miranda that she made super famous, and what most of her disproportionately younger fan, it caters to younger teens. Teenagers really like her character because it's an adult making fun of teenagers. It's an adult playing kind of a bratty teenager, and that's the character that kind of resonates with other teenagers.
Even if no one watches your videos, I love you no matter what.
The most famous people in the world.
Worlds collide. Oh god. Oh god. Grimace has an apology video. Oh god, with the ukulele? Fuck. It's a matter of time.
Oh, no.
You suck. Don't make any more videos. What?
You people are monsters. You have lipstick on your teeth? I would never put lipstick on that. It could get infected.
That's how the models do it.
How's it look?
Amazing.
So, you know, that's about as good as you could expect for a career to trajectory, right? It's you got famous on the internets, your channels blew up, you became a multimillionaire, then you created a secondary character, that one blew up as well, and then that opened up this entire thing where she would do tours. She was doing live tours, yeah, and doing a lot of live tours for a very younger crowd. A lot of the people who attended these obviously weren't adults legally. A lot of them had to go with their parents, and that's basically what these shows catered to. One of the people eventually fostered a relationship with her, and they began to talk back and forth, and they began to, you know, become friends. And obviously it was a very parasocial relationship for one of these individuals because this person was a monstrously huge fan of hers. So, YouTuber Colleen Ballinger has addressed the ongoing allegations of grooming her young fans in a bizarre video where she sings a song about, quote, toxic gossip while playing a ukulele. 36-year-old YouTuber Colleen Ballinger, also known as Miranda Sings, has been coming under fire amid accusations of engaging in inappropriate behavior with some of her young fans. As a result, several sponsors have dropped their partnerships with the influencer, including skincare brand OneSkin and telemedicine company ZocDoc. Never heard of ZocDoc. Although the accusations against Ballinger first surfaced in 2020, they returned in June 2023 when former fan Adam McIntyre once again exposed inappropriate conversations he'd allegedly had with the YouTuber when he was 14. All right, so this is the 2020 video in question.
Hey guys, I know this is not my typical video that you are used to seeing, but recently some things have come up that I feel like I need to address. And so I just wanted to sit down and have an honest conversation with you and address everything at once. So let's get started. The first thing I want to talk about is something that is weighing the heaviest on my heart right now. A video has resurfaced of my sister and I from 14 years ago. We were teenagers, and in this video we are doing characters that are Latina. And the characters are completely based on racial stereotypes. It is not funny, and it is completely hurtful. I am so ashamed and embarrassed that I ever thought this was okay. I was a sheltered teenager who was stupid and ignorant and clearly extremely culturally insensitive. Racial stereotypes are not funny. They are not a joke, and they should never be joked about. A few years later, we realized how stupid and hurtful the video was, and we deleted it. Not out of fear of getting caught, but out of fear that someone would find it and it would hurt them because it's wrong. I have grown and learned so much from my ignorant mistakes as a teenager, and I've done everything I can to right my wrongs. Now, this video was brought to light right after I had posted a video on my vlog channel last week with my friend Todrick talking about racism and how it is still very much a problem in our world today and how we need to fight against it. People were saying, how dare I talk about racism when I said these things 14 years ago? And to you, I say, that is the exact reason why I should be talking about racism and why I should be standing up against it, because I was one of the dumb ones who said that stupid thing and grew from it and learned from it and realized how...
By the way, I'm not against any of this so far, by the way, big caveat there. But like, I'm not against the idea that, hey, by the way, I've been online for a very long time. Some people have lived their entire lives online. I understand that, especially now. You're born into the age of the internet. Yes, you're perpetually online, fine. You've shared a lot of your life. And you had a lot of shitty takes back in the day. Guess what? It's good that we grow and we recognize that we're all fucking deprogramming racism, queer phobia, you fucking misogyny, you name it. We're trying to deprogram that shit. So yeah, it's good to call out your old shitty takes. Good to say, hey, by the way, I fucked up. That's all great. Good stuff. The problem with Colleen, as you'll see as this goes on, is that she doesn't take accountability for the really yikesy stuff, like the stuff that you should be directly answering for immediately.
hurtful it could be, and now I want to right my wrongs and make a difference so that other people don't make the same mistakes that I made when I was a kid. Another video popped up recently that I want to address, and it's a video that I filmed 12 years ago where I talk about taking a flight and an overweight woman sat next to me, and I talk really negatively about her, and it's awful. And I watched this clip and I was appalled and shocked that those things were coming out of my mouth 12 years ago, because that is not the woman who I am today. I'm such a huge advocate for women and women's bodies and loving every shape and every size, and the fact that I talked negatively about someone who was overweight is absolutely disgusting to me. Something else I want to talk about that has been brought up is that when I was 3 years old, I was bit by a dog. I needed to go to the hospital, and when my mom told the doctor that a dog had bit me, the doctor said that legally the dog needed to be put down. Now, the clip of me that is circulating from 7 years ago is me talking about this situation in a very insensitive way, when in reality, when our dog was put down, I was really upset, and over the years I have addressed this a few times in videos talking about how guilty I feel, how upset I am that this happened. Still to this day, as a 33-year-old woman, I feel guilty that our dog had to be put down for biting me. But in this clip, I talk about the story in a very dramatic, silly way, because sometimes, unfortunately, I use humor to talk about things that are actually extremely painful for me, and this is an example of that. To anyone and everyone who is hurt or offended by the statements I made when I was younger, I am so sorry. I hope you all can see that the person who I am today is so far from that ignorant person I was over a decade ago. And to those of you who might say, well, I knew better when I was that age, or 14 years ago, I knew right from wrong, I'm so glad that you did, because that means that there's one less person making those stupid mistakes that I made. I should have known better, and I didn't, and I'm extremely embarrassed by that. I'm really hopeful that I can be used as proof that people can change and grow and learn from their mistakes. If you continue to speak up when you see someone doing something or saying something wrong, it can make a difference. As I grew up, I learned that those words were hurtful, and I stopped using them, but there are still people in our world currently who are saying racist, homophobic, sexist, body-shaming things that need to stop. They need to be called out because they can change. I'm living proof of it. And my ignorant words from my past just make me that much more passionate to help the people that my words might have hurt. These things are being brought to light because some people are upset with me for not addressing something that happened a few weeks ago. Someone had made a video saying some shocking and hurtful things about me, and a lot of you wanted me to address it, and I didn't. I didn't address it not because I was just ignoring it and hoping it would go away, but because when this person messaged me letting me know they were upset, I responded immediately. I was very shocked and confused. I expressed I didn't know what they were talking about, and I also expressed frustration that they were trying to bring my son's name into their drama. Then I received a message from this person's mother asking me to not speak his name. So I was trying to respect the mother's wishes and the parents' wishes of this 17-year-old. But it has gotten to a point where there are so many rumors and lies and speculations going around, I feel like I need to address it. I do have receipts proving the things that I'm about to tell you. However, I feel uncomfortable sharing them because he is a minor. So I'm only going to be showing you the things that were between adults or things that were already public. The biggest issue that came from his video is that I sent a child underwear, and wow, anyone who heard this out of context and was offended, I completely understand because I would be too. But in this situation, context is everything. So I would like to give you some context to this situation.
Okay.
4 years ago, I did a live stream, and in this live stream, I did a giveaway. I was giving away clothes that were unused, tag still on, brand new, that I had just bought that I did not want. One of the items that was in the—
Oh, thank God. See, for a second there, I was worried that you were like sending 14-year-old boys underwear that you had used once. But no, the fact that it had, oh, it still had the tags on. Oh, okay. Well, that removes any of the yikesiness from this.
This box was a really ugly pair of underwear. As soon as we pulled them out, Corey and I started laughing and joking around about how ugly they were. Why did I buy these ridiculous underwear? It was so stupid.
I just got a big old box from Forever 21 and I want to open it up in front of you guys. Maybe I'll send the ones I don't want to you guys. I got a bunch of crop tops. The panties from you.
And people started asking for them in the live stream.
Everyone wants that bra.
You want the bra?
Everyone wants the bra.
At the end of the live stream, I was done giving away clothes, and then this boy who made this video about me recently, he asked for the underwear.
Yay, we picked people. I think that's enough.
Did that boy win these or not?
I don't know. He has to tell me what he wants.
What do you say? Is he being mean?
He said, hi, you have ugly clothes, but I want those ratchet panties and bras signed by Corey because he modeled them well.
Yeah!
It was so ridiculous and funny, we laughed about it, and I forgot to send them to him. And eventually he tweeted me, asking me for them again. I sent them to him. He put them on.
So here's where things are starting to get extremely fucked. The individual in question has made numerous videos. In fact, he's a pretty large YouTuber in his own right. His name's Adam McIntyre. Adam McIntyre has a long documented friendship with Colleen, in which like they'd been, you know, DMing each other constantly. Colleen had been getting him to dig up dirt on her ex-husband, a whole bunch of shit. Like it was like, it's a very, very largely documented relationship. So in 2020 to be like just random fan wanted, like, no, this is considered to be a close personal friend who ended up doing like a lot of work for you.
For his clothes and posted about them. It was like a big joke within the fandom. I did this publicly.
She was 30, he was 14 at the time.
That live stream is still up right now, and I've always given out weird random things in live streams. I've given out a taco costume, I've given out old bobby pins, dirty shoes.
Yep.
A few weeks ago I sent a fan like a single piece of toilet
Incredibly inappropriate, which is why it's like it's so weird seeing online people popping out and being like, well, okay, wait, what you guys are all calling her a groomer, blah blah blah, we're canceling Colleen, what, did she actually have sex with kids? And it's like there's other terrible things you can do that don't only involve physical rape of a child. There's other bad things you can do that abuses children, right? Like we shouldn't be like, well, if it's not the one thing, well then
paper. I've always given away weird stuff, and so in my mind at the time this was no different than all the other weird stuff I send to my fans as a joke. Now in hindsight I see how completely stupid of me. I should have never sent that. I don't know what part of my brain was missing at the time that I thought, oh, this is a normal silly thing to do. I should have realized and recognized how dumb that was and never sent it to him no matter how much he asked. But it was never a sneaky, creepy, gross thing that I was doing in secret. It was a silly, stupid mistake that now is being blown way out of proportion. He also mentioned in his video that his mom was uncomfortable with me, which was surprising surprising and shocking for me to hear because I was always under the impression, due to the things he told me and the things that I saw on the internet, that she not only was aware of our interactions, but she was very supportive of him being a fan of mine. She commented on a photo of him this year at my show saying how it was such a fun night. She gave him a birthday card when he was 16 with me on it, and he let me know multiple times how much his parents loved me and watched my videos. So this was surprising for me to hear because if I had known that, I would have stopped all interactions with him if I ever knew his parents were uncomfortable. Another thing I think is important to address from his video is that he did have access to my Miranda Sings.
You just, I'm sorry, shouldn't have relationships as a 30-year-old adult with 14-year-old fans of yours. Doesn't matter if like it has the parents' blessing. Because like, wow, that's a hard thing to say no to for a parent where it's like, my child idolizes this internet celebrity and this internet celebrity is giving my child the time of day. Huge red flags. That's very fucking weird. Why does a 30-year-old want to interact with a 14-year-old stranger who happens to be a huge fan of theirs? Nonetheless, now I'm put in this awkward position where I'm supposed to be the bad guy. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, no, you're the bad guy. Like, you should not be doing this. You should not be reaching out to 14-year-old fans of yours and having any kind of a relationship with them. Just let them be fans off in the distance. You don't need to know them.
For one day, not for years, and I want to just go over how that whole situation went down. Over the years, I've loved asking my fans for advice on what I should post for Miranda videos, Miranda tweets, things like that. Quite honestly, you guys are the funniest people that I know, and I love your advice. I love your input. I've taken a handful of suggestions as to what I should tweet as Miranda from my fans over the years, and he is included in that. I used a couple of his tweet ideas many years ago. They did really well. He was super funny, and since then, he's asked me multiple times if he can help me out with social media.
You also notice specifically that she's never like naming him and always kind of referring to him as just like fan X. No, this is fan Y. Oh, that's fan Y. Yeah, no. So that's better than fan Q, but fan Y, yeah, did this.
Yeah, again, I always thought that was really, really sweet, but most of the time I did not engage in those conversations.
That's a lot of things, right? Like doing OPSEC for a person, basically her telling them, hey, can you basically like either spread rumors or talk about this or find out about my ex-husband or things like that. And then in addition to that, creating and or making memes and or posting tweets and stuff that she herself would take and then use from her official account, as in like, yeah, so this is basically like you're kind of interning right now for me on that side.
Until recently. A couple months ago, he reached out to me and brought up the fact that the Miranda accounts hadn't been as active as they used to be and how he wanted to help me do more social media stuff. So he sent me a whole bunch of edited photos that he had in a folder ready to go for Miranda. He told me about a bunch of funny tweets he wanted to post, and he let me know that he had experience working in social media. He really vetted for himself, and because I'd known him for so many years, I was overexhausted and I don't have all the time I used to have to run all my social media. I thought, you know what, this might be a good situation to test run this and see if this could work out. This wouldn't be the first time I had hired a fan. I love hiring my fans for many reasons. One, they're super freaking talented. Two, they know me better than anybody. And three, I love supporting their dreams and passions in any way that I can. I've hired my fans to design merch. I've hired fans to go on tour with me. I've hired fans to edit things for me. And how hiring my employees works is I usually do a little test run to see how it goes. If it goes well, then I hire them officially through my company and they are paid legally through the corporation. It was no different for him. I wanted to do a little test run. If it went well, then I wanted to hire him. So I gave him access to my account and he started tweeting stuff for me. And pretty quickly there was a tweet that was—
By the way, so this, as you can tell, even this is from what she's willing to admit on her side. That is, you know, quite a bit of responsibility for someone who normally would just be a very underage 14-year-old fan of yours to suddenly have access to. Not only is there a relationship, a working relationship between the two of you, and you have stated that, hey, with purpose, I want to enhance your own social media presence. I have a bunch of ideas. Look at all the work that I've done. That you were also like, okay, well then here's access to my socials. I mean, you now have the ability, again, as a minor, to be able to put out and publish very, very large platformed ideas and things.
Posted that was problematic. This was my fault. He sent me a very long list of a ton of different things he wanted to post, and I did not look over it closely enough. I did not review it closely enough. I remember the moment when I saw all of these things. I was breastfeeding my son and I kind of just scrolled through and was like, yeah, go for it, have fun, I trust you. And when he posted it, I put zero blame on him at all. It was my fault. I knew better than to let someone else tweet for me. I should have reviewed closely every single thing that was going to come out of Miranda's mouth. I let him know that I loved him. He did a great job. It was my fault, not his. I publicly apologized for the tweet. I deleted the tweets that were posted that weren't posted from me. I let him know that I was upset, that people were disappointed in me, and then he said he logged out of the account, and that was the end of it. That was the last I heard from him until he sent me the message saying he was really upset with me, and that is when I then responded and got the message from his mom. I care about him so much, just like I care about all my fans that I've interacted with over the years, and I wish him nothing but success and happiness and love. I don't know what he's going through right now, but I don't want him to hurt anymore. He made it very clear in his video that he wants to move on from this and be separated from this whole situation, so let him have that, and let me have the same. It absolutely breaks my heart to see people saying negative things about me interacting with my fans based on this situation. I love talking to my fans. I love interacting with my fans. My fans are many different ages. So yes, there are some teenagers, but there's also adults. I love supporting them, supporting their passions, learning about them in the same way that you like.
but just then let them go be teenagers, you know? Like, I'm not here to say you shouldn't do like meet and greets or meet your friends, but like, please, if you're interacting, make it be with adults and don't like hire children. I think everyone can agree on that one too. Don't hire children. I guess this is almost done. We can play it out. Let you get the final word on this one.
To do that for me. To me, you aren't just my fans, you're my friends. We all have seen me cry way too many times on this channel about things I probably should have kept to myself. I definitely overshare, and I have definitely overshared with fans when they have asked me what's wrong, or asked me how I'm feeling, or try to console me when I'm feeling down. I definitely have overshared in the past with them and talked with them a little too much when I should have kept things to myself or talked to family or close friends instead. There are plenty of other stupid mistakes I've made in my past that I've learned from and grown from. There are plenty of other jokes I've made in my career that seemed appropriate at the time, but now I realize were never appropriate to begin with. I've learned from these things, and I will continue to learn from them and grow from them to become the best me that I can possibly be. I've lived my life on the internet for you guys all to watch for over 12 years. I love my job, but one of the difficult parts of my job is that I am very much put underneath a microscope, and any and all mistakes I ever make are definitely shown and blasted to thousands and some.
Lance would have a meetup and we'd all start roasting him. I mean, the only time I think I've met people, I met a handful of people at, and fans too, at TwitchCon in Amsterdam, but was when we do like the DSA thing, when we do the food stocking fridges, sometimes there'll be like 2 or 3 people that are like, oh, hey Lance, I'm from the show. And it's like, oh, cool. But then they always just want to talk politics all the time. It's never they just want to make fun of me for the next hour. It's basically like, so let's talk about the differences between communism and anarchism. I'm like, hey, cool, let's do it.
Sometimes millions of people all over the world. That's not an easy thing to deal with. However, I'm really grateful for that. Over the past 12 years, you guys have been really wonderful, helping me learn and grow to be a better.
Okay, yeah, so obviously I know it goes without saying, everybody, please do not have or foster relationships with your fans. Don't interact with fans who are underage, first off. That just should be an easy thing to do. Everybody, you're an adult. Why do you need to be friends with a 14-year-old? That's very strange and weird. No good can come of this. And then the other point would be that you shouldn't really be taking advantage of manipulating your fans in general. It's not a great practice either. Unfortunately, this goes much worse than simply, you know, she had hired one person one time to make a couple social media posts. As we'll see in
single thing.
The video.
This is what she did.
Let's get to...
Whenever I was 14, 15, and Colleen, I wrote that I was having a Q&A, a YouTube Q&A, and Colleen Ballinger, the 31-year-old.
This is how young he was when this was all taking place, by the way. This is the age. This was him on a stage performance, because again, she would tour and do stage shows where she would get a lot of teenagers to participate in the sketches that were taking place.
Comments and goes, Adam, you need questions for your Q&A? Are you a virgin? To a 14, 15-year-old. And then furthermore goes on and says, what's your favorite sexual position? What's your favorite position? So we're aware of that one, right? And I had ones in my camera roll that I, didn't read out, but I want to read out ones that the weenies have sent me, because these are like new things for me that I would like to share. So starting off, we have this one from the weenies, which goes as following. So Colleen writes to the girls in the group, tell me all your thoughts when you had your first periods, please and thank you. Just randomly, of course. And then she goes, example, I thought I shit myself because the blood was so dark in my underwear. She would just come in randomly and say stuff like that to a lot of people who were very underage. There was one person that was younger than me in the group, and then we were all relatively the same age, right? We have screenshots here that I want to get to as well, which is one that was sent to me by one of my friends at the time. And I have never felt so embarrassed and so, just disturbed and creeped out, because I didn't even remember this. And then whenever I saw this, I remembered that this happened. And it's a screenshot that goes as following. So in the group chat, at this time, this was 2016, I think I was 14-ish. I write, my ass looks good today, y'all. This is how, we were a bunch of kids in this group, so we talked stupidly. This is how we talked. And everyone in the chat ignores me, because they're like, oh, there Adam goes again. They would have their moments as well, right? Colleen comes into the chat, after not responding to anything else, and goes, pics, Adam, for me to send pics of my ass. And then I literally say, go away, bitch. So that was one that was sent to me by one of the girls in the group. And then there's moments in the group as well where, we're going to get to this later on, but there's this one where Colleen sends a tweet from a fan that says, Ballingers hate me and so do my parents. And then Colleen goes, they've deleted their tweets about Domino's, which was whatever the context was of that in the moment, And Colleen goes, and they're now playing victim. And what we're gonna get to later on in the video is showing one-on-one that me and Colleen would make fun of her fans. I may as well get to one example right now. So this is a tattoo from a girl, I won't say her name actually. This is a tattoo from someone who was in the fandom, and she had a Colleen Ballinger tattoo. We used to rip the living out of her, making fun of her privately, Colleen included in those conversations. We all used to, with a Sharpie and a pen, literally redo the tattoo and make fun of her and make fun of her mental health for being like, why would someone want to do that? And Colleen would partake in those conversations. Colleen would partake in those conversations about someone who loved her so much and got a tattoo. Albeit, I would never get a tattoo like that, and it's being covered up now anyway. So at the time of this person loved Colleen so much that they were going to like every single show she was doing, or most.
Going on for how long? I don't know. I mean, she said 12 years she's had a career, but I don't know how long she's been famous. I mean, not to mention super famous. We're talking like, this is again one of the biggest YouTube content creators of all time. If you're getting to the pedigree where you're getting actual like Netflix contracts and stuff like that, like she's at the top of her game. But very bizarre, because it's one of those things where like, she's known for having a character that appeals to teenagers, and a lot of the fans skew very, very young, and like she's touring, and like, I mean, once we get into the meat of the article itself, it gets worse and worse.
Them in 2016, and Colleen's tour manager at the time, Suzanne, and me all became very.
This is called shit. Like, she had a group of super fans, all who skewed very young, who she called the Weenies, and you know, he was a member of the Weenies, where she was clearly, as you can tell from the messages that have now been leaked, incredibly inappropriate to a bunch of people who were between the ages of 14 to 16 years old.
Close, and whenever I went to the 2016 show, we actually made jokes about this person. We made jokes about this person, and this was a common theme where we would find someone in the fandom that was doing something bizarre, and it would become an inside joke where we'd make fun of them. And then Colleen would be posting her meet and greet photos with said person, saying how much she loves her and appreciates her. She even posted about this tattoo, how much she loves this tattoo. Just another example, right? That I just have off the top of my head. So, there are a few moments like that from the Weenies that have been, you know, put forward.
Yeah, so those are a couple of those. This one goes into a lot more detail, showing videos that took place and stuff like that. But let's get back to the story at hand. Although the accusations against Ballinger first surfaced back in 2020, they've returned in June 2021 after former fan Adam McIntyre once again exposed inappropriate conversations he'd allegedly had with the YouTuber when he was 14. In a tell-all video, McIntyre claimed that Ballinger had purposely bullied and manipulated some of her young fans into doing free labor, claiming she would make comments about their appearances and ask them inappropriate questions. Other fans also came forward to share similar experiences, leaving fans looking to Ballinger for a response. Miranda Sings creates bizarre song to address the grooming allegations. Ballinger has been coming under fire from all sides as a result of these accusations, and after weeks of fans waiting for answers, she finally responded to the situation in a June 28th YouTube video. This is why so many people know about this now, by the way. So this has actually been going on for a while, obviously because it doesn't really concern any of the things that like I cover or watch on a regular basis. I haven't been very privy to the whole Miranda Sings controversy, but now that this utterly haunting and creepy, and how did anyone in their right mind ever conceive that this could be a good idea style ukulele musical number that she has now uploaded, and it's been seen I think 3 million times by this point. And it's been downvoted to hell because, yeah, what the fuck? Turns out people did not respond positively to the whole, you don't know how hard it is for me when the cancel culture mob comes for you. I'm not a groomer. You all just want to have toxic fucking call-out culture. That's what this is. The toxic gossip train. Choo-choo. Away it goes. It does. Like, most people are kind of like, you gonna address all the really gross ass fucking shit? What about, why did you mail the panties? Why did you mail the panties and the bra to a child? That's not appropriate. This is a kid, you know? They were 14 when this was all happening. I mean, they're 20 years old now, but like, that's still like, he's still got it, you
because
know?
my mom had just taken them away because she was so shocked. So this was what I was sent. I don't even know, sorry, I don't know which way this goes. This is what I was sent, okay. Am I doing like a haul for you? I don't know. And then, I hate touching it. Then, these. I don't know which way they go, but these as well. So I was genuinely still surprised that my mum had these, but so that was a big warning sign, but because I was so young I didn't take it. Naive. So in 2018 Colleen came back to Dublin and she invited me out to lunch and I was so excited to see, well, my friend again. My mum, on the other hand, was really cautious and waited at the end of the street for us to be done with our lunch, and so whenever I'd finished walking with Eric and Colleen, she would walk me back to the hotel. She made it very clear that she didn't trust Colleen, and she had just been mad at everything that I had been told and used for all them years. But I love my mum, she's great, she still wanted to be supportive, so that was her way of allowing me to go to that lunch, was her.
You should have listened to her lawyers, because without this Yuki track, we never would have, it would have blown up. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? There's this whole thing. And by the way, yes, this is this has nothing to do with the LGBTQ plus, you know, being predators or groomers. This is 100%. The cissets are at it again. By the way, I know a lot of people online were like, Lance, you're not allowed to talk about this. You support LGBTQ plus groomers, blah blah blah. It's like, no, I don't. Y'all just are slandering the queers all the time. So you've in your own brains associated those, but no, actually, they're more often the victims of the groomers. Yeah, no, I do want to bring attention to actual groomers though, because real groomers doing grooming shit are fucking predatory assholes who are a danger to children, and we should talk about it.
Just staying on the street so that she could be near. So that was June 7th of 2018. So much has happened from then until now that I won't really talk about in this video, but I do want to talk about the situation that made Colleen turn on me.
Haven't covered the brother. I only just found that out this morning, so if you didn't know that angle, Trent Ballinger accused of fostering an inappropriate online relationship with a young Colleen Ballinger fan, so the brother was also going after her fans as well. Trent Ballinger, a man in his 30s, sent me a thread of things that he sent me when I was 13 to 14 years old. Trent Ballinger, the brother of mega YouTube star Colleen Ballinger, has been accused of sending inappropriate messages to a young fan of the sisters. Trent has been featured on Colleen's channel over the years when talking about the cochlea implant. Ollie now uses they, he pronouns, but he was using she, her at the time of the messages. The messages start when Trent telling Ollie not to share their conversations with anyone. I'm told not to speak to people under 18. I just do those spread positivity. Throughout it, Trent discusses Ollie's sexual orientation, got possessive over the minor, then Ollie gave him the nickname Peapod. He guilted Ollie over the prospect of them forgetting about him one day, and on more than one occasion he appeared very concerned over Ollie labeling themselves as bisexual and gay. Ollie also claims that Trent sometimes would send them their own photos of different edits, writing to think of those pics being on his camera roll now. Wanted to take a break from Twitter. He wasn't having it. I'd also be scared every night. I'd accidentally forget not to tweet after he told him goodnight, because if he saw me on Twitter, he'd feel like I'd lied to him. It was very stressful. He would call me his little Peapod. Not sure where that came from. He would also DM me at random times with Peapod themed messages. It seemed like he was always thinking of me, even when we were talking. He was referring to the video chatting. Proof. Following the thread, former fans of Colleen have come forward saying they were also being messaged by members of Ballinger's family while they were minors. Some have come forward to Trent's defense, claiming that he has a disability and did not possess the mental maturity of a man in his 30s. Others claim this is no excuse, as he allegedly states in the message shared by Ollie that he knows he should not be messaging minors, but is choosing to. There is no excuse for this. Fuck. These accusations come off on the back of a tumultuous week for Colleen and her fandom. Yeah. I would say that's one way of putting it. They validated Adam McIntyre's story, another former fan of Colleen's who shared his experience of being part of the fandom in 2020. His experience included being sent lingerie when they were in their when she was 30 and he was 13 years old. Sorry, 13, not 14. Cody has since removed all content from their channel following a video by commentary creator Dustin Daly, who called them out for also being in Colleen's fandom group chats with minors, something Cody did not address in their video.
Hey, what is up, you guys? It's Dustin, and I am back with another video. And this is not a video that I'm very happy to be making right now, because there is a lot of things going on with Adam McIntyre, Cody Rance, and Colleen Ballinger. Now, you guys, I don't know if you're aware of what's going on. I don't know how you couldn't be if you are on Twitter or YouTube. This is popping up everywhere. Colleen Ballinger just got exposed in big time by Cody Rance and Adam McIntyre, and I have some information that I have to share, because I feel like if I do not share this, this is going to go unchecked, and I just cannot have that. Now, you guys know that I am working on a series currently, and I have hinted on Twitter about how I'm going to be exposing a group chat, right? And that is the whole premise of what went on with Adam. But before I get into all of that, I want to just apologize. Literally for years, I've had issues with Adam because I thought that what he was outing you. And I have to kind of, because for some reason, I think she replied to one of my tweets or something. And I think that she thought that this group chat that I was going to be exposing was about her. And it just simply was not. It does include one of the people that she was in a group chat with that was a minor. Ooh. But what's going into my series has nothing to do with Cody Rants. And I just want to address this like off the fucking rip really quickly. Cody Rants, I told her I was not going to include her in my series, and I don't plan to, but I really honestly should. So that's why I'm going to talk about her here. And before I say anything I have to say, I do not want to hear any kind of mental gymnastics from anyone. I do not care how you try to rationalize what Cody has done and coming out and saying the things that she said in this video that she posted to YouTube, saying, and I quote, like, fuck it, I'm just going to talk about what I want to talk about. And if you don't like that, it's your problem, not mine. So I'm going to post the video, and if there's a lot of backlash, great. I'll get more money. So whatever, I don't care. Go ahead and tweet my video in your little group chats and post it online and make all the hate comments you want. It will pay my bills. Let's go ahead and talk about
it's just a rabbit hole. Oh, I know. And we're not even halfway there.
my time in Colleen Ballinger's fandom and why I believe her fandom is the most toxic fandom online.
And if there's a lot of backlash, great, I'll get more money.
Cody, you were a part of that fandom. You contributed to this. You admitted this much in this video because you said that you wrote fan fictions about the people and the children that were in these chats. And now people are sainting Cody as if what Cody has done is admirable. It's not. She admitted to doing the same type of shit that Colleen Ballinger was doing. And I don't understand why people are giving Cody some kind of green light to get past this. This does not excuse anything that Cody's done.
I should not have been in a group chat with you. There's no excuse for that. Should not have been in a group chat with my ex.
Period, point blank, end of story. So Cody is calling out all these people for deleting things. Tell me why Cody has deleted a video. Tell me why Cody has deleted almost 1,000.
Colleen Ballinger's parents and siblings, who are the YouTuber's father's, mother's, brother's, sister's family. Allegations of inappropriate behavior have been lodged against the YouTube personality Colleen. Her siblings are also content creators. I guess everyone just kind of like jumped at the chance to be part of this like famous family. Oh my god, meet the Ballinger family. California. Trent, we learned about his creepiness. Rachel, don't know. Okay. Who's Adam McIntyre? Net worth. It's going to be like $40 million.
Tweet.
Totally accurate.
It's very, very hypocritical to me. But it's not only that. Like, the proof of this video being deleted kind of left a bad taste in my mouth and how Cody addressed it. So somebody tweeted out to Cody and said, I asked on your other post as well, genuine question. When you were redecorating your room just weeks ago, you showed that you hung the autographs and memorabilia from Colleen and Corey. So what changed now if you've already known all of this? Why go after her now? And I saw this and I was like, that's really interesting. And that's when I checked Cody's social blade to see if this video was deleted. And it's deleted. But Cody quote tweeted this and said, because I don't look at the memorabilia and think bad things. I think of how I took my power back from somebody who hurt me and became stronger. I went on those trips because of my viewers watching my content. I look at that collage and think of you guys, not her. Well, if that's the case, why did you delete it? You need to stand firm in what you're saying. So do you stand by what you're saying here in this tweet and you aren't ashamed, or are you trying to hide something? Because I feel inclined to think that you're hiding something because of the conversation that I had with you, Cody, just like 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of speculation. I wanted to get to the point where he actually talks about like how it affected him, because it kind of puts a...
It's just another big F you to me. And I'd also been aware that Corey DeSoto hearing anything from her. Now I know that, oh, that's everything from the past, being not only someone I would have called a friend, go out of my life like that, someone who was my idol for years. It's weird, and I don't really know the words to say because I just feel awkward whenever it comes down to talking about it. That's why I don't talk about it. That's why nobody knows about anything, because I felt awkward. I felt like I made a mistake maybe. So since 2017, Colleen had been coming to me for video ideas, tweet ideas, Instagram ideas, anything for the Miranda Sings character, but also some for herself too. It was mainly focusing on helping her in the Miranda account from 2017 on, but there was a little part of helping her own channel out with ideas as well in 2017 to 2018. So I just helped give ideas. She was aware that the Miranda character had passed its time and that she didn't really enjoy doing it anymore because she couldn't really be problematic as the character anymore. So in December of 2017, I proper started giving tweets for the Miranda account. This included tweets on iCarly, Brazil, and a number of other things. I'm pretty sure she was in Hawaii at this stage. Yeah, she was. And whenever we talked about how Miranda wasn't really doing well anymore, she messaged me and then said, well, help me. And that's then whenever I started giving the tweet ideas. So on the 25th of March of this year, I started giving more ideas again because Colleen was aware that the Miranda character was becoming very stale and inactive on social media. And on the 26th of March again, she started tweeting my ideas, which included Animal Crossing stuff. So on the 25th and 26th, I presented her with about 50.
All the grooming and pedo stuff, we don't even get to the unpaid labor. Well, I mean, it's all wrapped up in the same fucking disaster that's been going on for so long. I have a present for you today. I've never done this with anyone, but I'm trusting.
Her social media intern. Right now, I'm considering you my social media intern, but if things go well, we can talk about me hiring you part-time for an hourly rate. I don't like using your creativity and insight for free, so just know I'm not planning on taking advantage of your help. I'm planning on making it more official if it works out that way. How does that sound, Queen? So then I got into the account and she basically just sent me a message saying go crazy. So what I had to do was tweet, respond to fans, talk to fans, basically just get hype about Miranda again. So I spent my entire day and night talking to fans on the Miranda Sings account in group chats. I had long conversations just talking to people on there, talking to fans, tweeting them, and just going through the list of tweets that I had sent her thinking what will I tweet next. And then on the 27th of March at 1:05 in the morning, she sent me a message just a ha 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 and wait, you're all good, I see you've been tweeting. So this was after I said I was having problems getting into the
Fuck not to pay, but it's not as bad as the other stuff. Yeah, I mean, the other stuff is obviously worse. A lot of it is fucking, you know, trying to have, or at least open dialogue for a sexual conversation with children. So yes, that is, in that case, if these are authentic messages and she was sending them directly both to him and his group chat, asking for pictures of his body, commenting on his body, asking if he's a virgin, what his sexual favorite positions are, that's grooming. She's grooming. That is 100% grooming. That is what the definition of grooming is. So she, in that sense, yes, if that is verified and all real, then yes.
To do Miranda now, people, and she sent me a message that says, I'm not mad at all, I'm just paranoid because everyone always gets mad at the account. Then we were having a conversation.
This is one of the reasons why, by the way, outside of just the absurdity of thinking it was a good idea, like you have to have such an ego to think that everyone's suddenly just going to get on your side. You know, that kind of thing like, oh no, I've got the idea, the perfect thing. All I have to do is sing a song and then everyone's going to realize that like, yeah, wait, why are we going after her? Why are we going after Colleen? No, that's a bad thing. That's not fair. She doesn't deserve to be called all these things. This is really unfair. This is the toxic train. That's right. Choo choo. Everyone get on board the toxic train. And then they'll hear it and it'll be catchy and they'll get it in their heads and they'll be humming it all day. And they'll be like, we should probably stop accusing her of being a groomer. The only things I've groomed are my cats. And like thinking that, okay, let's go from that to do it and action. Go off. Yeah, main character
Conversation
syndrome
where
of the
she was
highest
talking
order.
about Miranda the character and the fall of the character.
Yeah, her lawyers told her not to for good reason. No one would be talking about this today. Instead of everybody. Like, every single streamer, every single fucking everybody is reacting to what is not only one of the most absurd concepts ever, but just a haunting video in general of like, what are you doing, Miranda?
You guys having fun?
Not really.
All aboard the toxic gossip train. You're chugging down the tracks of misinformation. The toxic gossip train. You got a one-way ticket to manipulation station. Toxic gossip train. Tie me to the tracks and harass me for my past. Cause rumors look like facts. If you don't mind the gaps, I won't survive in the crash. But hey, at least you're having fun. Hi everyone. I've been wanting to come online and talk to you about a few things.
For sure.
Even though my team has strongly advised me to not say what I want to say.
Strongly. I wonder how strongly. Ooh, to be a fly in the wall in that meeting, right? With the other lawyers just sitting there all together, you know, $600-700 an hour each. So, Colleen. Yeah, no, I've got a great idea. I'm going to release a statement. I've got it already basically written. I just basically need your permission to be able to upload it. And boom, I've got it out there. Could you just look it over and make sure it's legally sound and safe and stuff? About that. We would prefer, actually, if you don't speak at all. Just if you could just say nothing and also do nothing online. Don't tweet, don't gram, no Reddit posts if possible. No TikToks. Just let this try and cool down a bit if the temperature can just go down, and we'll handle the rest. You can take a vacation. You like those. Hawaii, right? Why don't you go to Hawaii for a little while? You know, a couple months. Enjoy yourself. Have a couple, you know, pina coladas on the beach. Enjoy that. You know, it's going to be fun. It'll be great. We'll handle everything on our end for everything that's going down here. And we'll handle contact with the other lawyers because there have been other lawyers and they are contacting us about a lot of this. And yeah, so either way, you're going to be fine. You just get out there, right? And whatever you do, please do not say or talk about this publicly in any way, shape, or form. Don't address it. Don't acknowledge it. Whatever you do not say anything's out of your mouth or your fingers. Don't speak. Don't speak. You know that song, right? You know that one? All right, do that. Don't speak.
This is Black Mirror / Atlanta levels of absurd.
I will agree with the Black Mirror levels. It's definitely what you'd expect when it's just like, here's social media brain. Like, here's the corrupting power of social media, where, yes, you can, Heatwood Mac, thank you so much. And thank you as well, Worshiper of the Olympians. You can get to such a degree where you're so famous, you're so popular, you're so successful that you have an empire. You have 20 million fucking subscribers. That's more than fucking Joe Rogan has, okay? That's more than a lot of fucking TV networks, newspapers have reached. That is a monstrously amount of, like, enormous amount of power right here and right here. What comes to your mind and what your hands can create into the real world and put out there, 20 million people could have access to it at any given point. So you do have somewhat of a responsibility, but that's also given you POV syndrome to such a degree where, while you are strongly, in your words, strongly advised not to say anything publicly about this, because of course you decided to do this and grace the internet with 2023, the year of the strange, one of the strangest moments.
I recently realized that they never said that I couldn't sing what I want to say.
Oh. Can you imagine just being the lawyer when you got to that point, the minute and 29 point of the video? Because you know they're sitting there like, what the, what, no, pause, what the fuck did she, no, please.
I am, and today I only want to talk about the facts. So I hope.
Fuck. Oh, we're fucked. Look at my client, dog. She's going to jail.
Many years ago, I used to message my fans, but not in a creepy way, like a lot of you are trying to suggest.
But
it was more
still,
of a loser kind of way. But I was just trying to be best.
I'm just a loser. I'm a loser. You 14 and 13-year-olds. Any 13-year-old losers just like me that I can contact and be besties with because we're all losers together. We'll call ourselves the Weenies. Did no one see any fucking red flags here the whole fucking time? Oh, wow. Did no one, like, people on the payroll, by the way, I'm sorry, but all of y'all must have known a little bit too much about this, right? Just nervously sitting back and being like, why is she in the Discord, in that private Discord group, messaging all those 13-year-olds? Well, she hasn't done anything illegal. She hasn't asked any of them for nude photos or propositioned them, or she's asking if they're virgins, though. And then, oh, no, now she's asking what their favorite sex positions are. That's not good, right? Yeah, that's bad. That's very bad. It's not a good look, no, and it could bury the entire industry here. But you know what? Maybe we just leverage this. I don't know. Maybe it's a good time to ask for a raise.
With everybody. It's kind of like when you go to like a family gathering. And there's a weird aunt there. Keeps coming.
Yeah, you are describing some of the situations in which child abuse occurs, by the way. It can be, and it is often, close family members, including weird aunts, yes, sexually molesting young boys. It is a very bad problem that happens that unfortunately is underreported due to a lot of factors, one of them being toxic masculinity and the idea of men suddenly being, if they are victims, weak, because that's how we define the strength of a man, is his strength to be able to resist things like that. And ultimately, I mean, if he's a boy, did he really want it and all that? No, these are rapists, these are child rapists. Same thing, sorry, no, there is not a weird double standard when it is a woman doing it to a boy, suddenly it's okay. No, these are child rapists. So yeah, the weird aunt at the party probably shouldn't be invited to the party anymore and should probably go seek help, to be honest with you.
Up to you and going like, hey girl, what's the tea? And you're like, ugh.
Seek help.
That was me, but in group chats with my fans. It was weird. I've been sharing my life online for over 15 years. I've poured my heart out to you, and because of that I feel like I'm talking to my friends, but in the beginning of my career, I didn't really understand that maybe there should be some boundaries there. There were times in the DMs when I would overshare details of my life, which was really weird of me. I haven't done that for years, you see, because I changed my behavior and I took accountability.
But you didn't. See, so we watched the video of 2020. You didn't actually acknowledge the really fucked up and yikesy things. And you tried to in one instance, but then played it off as, well, this was just a fun live stream. And then one of the fans wanted the bra and the panties, so we just obliged and gave it to the fan. And I did happen to have a very close personal relationship with that fan, including asking for photos and sometimes some relatively nude photos of that fan, as well as asking if the fan was a virgin and wondering what that fan's sexual positions and favorite sexual positions were. So there was that, and I did get that fan to end up doing a lot of work for me. And at one point, that fan ended up managing my social media, which is pretty major. Pretty, like, that's not just like a rando, you know? It's like, oh, well, I got 20 million subscribers on YouTube. I can't possibly be accountable for what every single one of them is going to do and or say. And to which I would say, I agree. That's unreasonable. That's an unreasonable expectation. However, if there is one in which you've had a personal relationship for years, and in which you have also performed on stage with, and that you have also had all these private conversations with, who has also been doing OPSEC for you in order to try and, you know, research stuff on your ex-husband, this is kind of more than simply a fan. This is someone that sounds like you have a very unhealthy and very, very inappropriate relationship with. Yes, who is a child, and who was a child for years and years and years before they became an adult, and now as an adult is coming out and saying, hey, by the way, this creepy ass aunt is a creepy ass aunt who was doing creepy ass shit to me for years, and now I recognize that I was groomed. So that's fucked up, right?
But that's not very interesting, is it? So let's go on the toxic gossip train. The locomotive's fueled with hateful accusations.
Thank you very much for the rate of 11 at Difficult Truth. That was a weird combination of things. We're already listening to this surreal creepiness that is like, what the fuckery is so high on this one. Again, and by the way, can everyone go to twitch.tv/difficult truth, give a follow back. When I was scrolling through Twitter yesterday, I ignored this so many times. It was basically like, you know, you'd scroll and be like, what's this again? Oh, it's, yeah, the Myanmar. Oh, that's fucked up. Oh shit, what's going on in Syria? Oh, cool. But and you're posting that? You of all people? Why are you talking about this? Okay, fine. What's this all about?
Toxic gossip train, steamroll over someone's reputation.
Sorry, what? I gotta do some research here. Sorry, what's this about? Who is she? But oh, okay. Oh wow, she's Netflix show. Oh wow, she's famous. She's doing very well for herself. Okay. Grooming? Wait, not one. Whoa, lots and lots of fans. They had a name. It was almost kind of like a little organized, like a cult almost. They were called the Weenies. 13 and 14-year-old boys, sending them lingerie, getting them to do stuff, managing your social media. Whoa, doing a whole bunch of unpaid work. And you were asking whether or not they're a virgin and what their favorite sex. Oh my God. And you made a song about all this, downplaying the severity of what you've done. Oh my. Content warning once again, if you haven't noticed, these topics are intense for you. And please spread the message. Make sure everyone knows the most frequent abusers of children happen to be family members and people with close proximity to kids, including priests, Catholic priests. You should not allow your children to be alone with Catholic priests, and you should not allow your children to be alone with perfect strangers as well. But also, please be aware that family members are the #1 abusers of kids. So let people know that, so that people are aware and that they can stop child abuse, because that would be great. If we had less child abuse, that would be a good thing. It's my PSA for the day. I know. Spicy takes.
Toxic gossip train.
Oh, yes. Jehovah's Witness also systemically protects predators. Any organization that is systemically protecting all of their child abuse, including things like the Catholic Church, come on. I mean, hey, in Canada alone, you are the ones who are raping all the Indigenous kids. You are the ones who are taking all the Indigenous kids from their mother's arms. You are the ones who are fucking trying to erase their language, culture, everything about them. You're the ones trying to commit a cultural genocide. You're the baddies, Catholics. You are all the baddies. You're the bad guys. You're fucked. So, yeah, that's... probably shouldn't have, any kind of taxation exemptions, but I digress.
Hop on board, but close your eyes, otherwise you'll realize that the train is made of lies, and that person you despise maybe didn't deserve to die, but hey, at least you're having fun.
Like, that's such a fucking pompous way to deal with all of this, instead of actually directly addressing any of the, again, very, very yikes, incredible accusations and fucking leaked DMs, by the way. These are leaked DMs. People have brought receipts to the table, and you're like, are you happy, all of you, huh? Get your pound of flesh Have I sacrificed enough? Have I bled on the cross enough for all of you? Yeah? Are you having fun calling me mean names? Ooh, look at this. Cancel culture, the toxic fucking gossip train running away.
In all seriousness, I do think it's really important to hold people accountable for their mistakes. You know, we should hope that everyone can learn from their mistakes and grow and change their behavior and be a better person.
Agreed. Restorative justice is a good thing, and I have the door open for all. That being said, acknowledging past behavior, both apologizing, correcting, and then trying to undo the harms that you've created is part of that process. You have not even gotten to the acknowledging part. Your first mini apology, in which you did in 2020 and tried to include things that I don't know if people were even accusing you of, but if they were, okay, a whole bunch of racist sketches came out from your past, and you were like, hey, I was a super extreme racist in the past. I did racist sketches. They were bad. They were racist. I've deleted them. I acknowledge that they are harmful. I'm now going to work to undo the harms that I've done and realize that perhaps as a non-member of that group, I was furthering the dehumanization of that group, and I'm sorry, and here's what I'm going to do. Fine. Good job. And then it's like, hey, by the way, the problem that a lot of people are accusing you, including some of your I guess, employees, does it count if you was an unpaid intern, or did you ever pay him a salary? One of them says that you've pretty effectively been grooming him for a long time and has receipts to the effect. Are you going to acknowledge that one? You know?
And this is something
She made the video over 10 minutes so she could monetize it. I can't confirm that this is monetized because I haven't gotten an ad on it. If someone else has, let me know.
that I've always tried to do when I make mistakes, and it's something that I will continue to try to do. What? Oh, you don't care? Oh, okay. I thought you wanted me to take accountability, but that's not the point of your...
Like, that's just, wow. Again, I like I said, some people have internet brain, and it's gotten to such a point where, like, you have this warped version of the world where you thought that's a good idea to, like, of course your lawyers are like, shut the fuck up. You're gonna get in front of there on your uke and then be all like, see, I did the right thing. I acknowledged the bad things I did in the past. I bettered myself. Did you better yourself? Is this enough for you? Oh, what? You won't accept it? Won't accept that I'm a better person than you? Well, here's verse 2.
Mob mentality, is it? No. Your goal is to ruin the life of the person you despise while you dramatize your lies and monetize their demise.
Ah, yes. Haters. You're all a bunch of haters, you haters. You're hating. Why you hating, haters? Ooh, look at the clout chasers farming. Did you all plant some little clout turnips? You harvesting your clout turnips now? Oh, did they not grow strong enough for you? Not big and juicy clout turnips. Oh, you don't get to have as juicy clout from me, because I refuse.
I feel like I can already hear the comments on this video. She's gaslighting, manipulating. Oh, she's a narcissist and a rat. I would never make a mistake like that. Oh. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that all of you are perfect, so please criticize me. Bring out the daggers made from your perfect past and stab me repeatedly in my bony little back.
So bad. It would have been so bad if she had done this and it was just an apology video to this effect. You all know the style, right? Like every single YouTuber apologist, just like, give me a sec here. We're gonna do this. Sorry. Saying it out loud, you know, it's just been so hard. It's been so hard, you have no idea. Oh, this feels so good. Oh, let's all look at the donos. Oh God, look at those sweet ass donos. This feels so good. Woo. Nice. Oh, boys, we did it, boys. Fuck, did it. Hell yeah, we fucking did it. Fuck yeah. Oh, it feels good. Oh, that was a good apology. Yeah. Even that would have been a fucking train wreck. But to do it and then add the musical, the ukulele. I was thinking like sing, but maybe like a piccolo or something medieval, a flute of some kind, you know? Where are we thinking? No, maybe I'll go a little different direction, maybe tropical, something like that. Ukulele. Everyone loves it.
I'm sure you're disappointed in my shitty little song. I know you wanted me to say that I was 100% in the wrong. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna take that route of admitting to lies and rumors that you made up for clout.
Yo, get fucked. I apologize to no one. No one. No one gets apologies, motherfuckers.
Hey everybody, I found someone new to harass. She did some things that I do not like in her past. So everybody gather round, cause we're about to attack. But not based on facts, oh no. Your loaded lethal weapon is your fingers on the keys.
Okay, so I'll once again put a pin in the spectacle and revert to the article because things actually get worse than what I've already described to you, unfortunately. Thus, Ballinger went on to sing a 10-minute song about hopping on a, quote, toxic gossip train headed for Manipulation Station. Many years ago, I used to message my fans, she explained, but not in a creepy way, like a lot of you are trying to suggest. Yes, no, creepy. If you are messaging 13-year-old boys and talking to them about your ex and your love life and their sex lives, that is creepy as fuck. That is pedophile shit. You are a groomer. It was more of a loser kind of way. Well, I mean, yes, but also groomer, where I was also trying to be besties with everybody. Besties with everyone. You can avoid the children. You're gonna be okay. Just don't be besties with the babies and the kids and what the fuck. She went on to call herself a weird aunt, and her fan base expressed that at the beginning of her career, she didn't realize that there had been some boundaries between herself and her fans. Ballinger claimed that she has since changed her behavior and, quote, taken accountability for her actions, but went on to lash out at allegations against her on the, quote, toxic gossip train, which is fueled by hateful accusations. At the time of writing, commenters appear less pleased by the YouTuber's reaction to the situation, with one saying, "You have no shame. This is just mocking people that you've hurt at this point." Yes, victim shaming as well. You're not addressing what the victims in this case have come forward and said. You should have listened to your team. This is just the latest news to come from Ballinger's situation after more fans spoke up to share their own experiences with the YouTuber leading up to her most recent statement. In the midst of grooming allegations, Colleen Ballinger has now been accused of exploiting minors after the YouTuber seemed to act inappropriately with a child on one of her shows. Famous for her internet character Miranda Sings, YouTuber Colleen Ballinger is currently facing a wave of backlash. Recently, Ballinger made headlines after former fan Adam McIntyre alleged that she groomed and bullied underage fans, and it turned out McIntyre isn't the only one speaking out against the YouTuber on such matters. A TikTok post on the 14th by not Becky, by the first name Becky, alleges that the YouTuber had humiliated and exploited minors for entertainment on her shows.
Hi, okay, my name is Becky. I'm the girl in this video, and this video has over 1 million views, and that is a lot of people to be seeing this story without hearing it from me, so I want to explain this. So I was a fan of Colleen and all the Ballinger family for a very, very long time, and I think in this video I was about 16. If you've never been to a Miranda show, Colleen frequently has segments where she calls people up on stage. One of those segments was the porn bit, which I'm not really going to be explaining in this video, but that's why I was kind of trying to dress skimpy so that I would be called up on stage and basically get degraded by Miranda. But I did not get called up for that. I got called up for the yoga challenge. Now, as soon as I stood up from the audience, I saw Colleen's eyes widen because she realized I was not wearing pants. But for some reason, that didn't stop her from continuing. In fact, no adult at any point stepped in this situation. So we get to the point in the yoga challenge where I am laying down and Colleen is spreading my legs basically as far as she can. She spreads them so far that you can see the spandex I was wearing under my romper, which thank God I was wearing. Now, the original video posted by Xandar, I'm sorry if I pronounced her name wrong, is only a screenshot, but there is a whole video of this. But that screenshot is the most important because that is the moment I will never forget, where I was laying under Colleen and she was smirking down at me while thousands of people were laughing, and I was terrified that my body wasn't covered up enough by the spandex or the romper. I basically felt naked, so it felt incredibly sexually violating. I was younger and my body was still developing and I was still becoming comfortable with myself, so for her to use my body as entertainment on stage really set my confidence back quite a lot. And not to mention, after all this, after the show, I had to walk back to my car where there was many men staring at me in a very predatory way that they were not looking at me before because of how exposed I had been on stage. So I literally did not feel safe leaving the venue. And I'm not—
Jesus. Thank you for the dono of worshiper. Absolutely fucked. And again, not something that she's addressed. She refers to this whole incident in the song as because I made a fart joke. Like, holy fuck.
I'm not saying this was sexual assault, although people are debating that in that comment section, but as someone who has been sexually assaulted, this situation gave me that same feeling where it feels like you need to purge and like clean out your insides, you know, just that nasty, gross feeling. There's a couple comments on Xandar's video being like, oh, she signed up for that, why is this such a big deal, blah blah blah. Colleen exploited my minor body for entertainment and money and did not protect my safety at this show. As an outsider looking into this situation, it may seem like this wasn't a big deal, but this was really pretty scary for my teenage self, and especially as someone who loved and looked up to Colleen. And I could never say anything because everybody loved her. But this is who she really is. She uses kids for her own gain. I was a minor, and again, she did not protect me. So if you're watching this and you're thinking about taking your kids to a Miranda show, I would advise you to think twice because you may come back with years of trauma, and I don't wish that on anyone.
Like, holy fuck. In the video, Becky explained that she was a former fan of Ballinger and attended one of her shows when she was roughly the age of 16. In the hopes of getting called onto stage for a particular bit, the then teenager wore a short floral romper, and while she was called up, it wasn't for the bit Becky had anticipated. Instead, Becky was called up for the, quote, yoga challenge, and that involved Ballinger contorting to the teenage body for the audience's amusement. I'm so sick of people being okay with calling Colleen out, but then stopping when it comes to using certain terminology. It's okay to call her a groomer and a predator because that's what she is. Normal people don't do what she does to children. The whole bit here was that I, quote, farted while in this position, and that's one, very childish, and two, fucking embarrassing when you're already in a vulnerable position. I was only a teenager here, and you could see that I had to stop and cover myself up before I even stood up. We're obviously not going to play that. Is that the end of the article? Okay. Commenters were quick to show support for Becky, while some debated whether Ballinger's actions can be classified as sexual assault. However, other comments did not see the issue, as Becky supposedly signed up for the ordeal. In response to this, Becky said, Colleen exploited my minor body for entertainment and money and did not protect my safety for the show. He wanted to be called on stage to be in a skit, not violated by an adult. And the commenter said in support. Also, super gross that, of course, people would immediately just be like, oh, it kind of seems like you're trying to, I don't know, you signed up for it, right? I don't know, how were you dressed? Were you dressed in such a way that it seems as if this is something you wanted to participate in? It's like, I didn't want this to happen to me. It happened to me. I didn't consent to this. It happened in front of thousands of people. It's on camera. I'm not comfortable about this. I'm a victim. Can you help? Meanwhile, everyone's like, well, I don't. We need to debate. Let's find out. Cat Black put out a video on this. On which aspect? We do like Cat Black. We do. She actually wrote, rehearsed, and performed and uploaded this. Oh, it's just on the singing aspect. Yeah, I know. That's basically what we're covering right now. So as you can tell, I mean, by this point, you've probably gotten a pretty good idea for the fact that there's an unbelievable amount of fucked up shit that she has to be held accountable and address, and is still refusing to, and instead has reverted to...
You don't need any armor when you can hide behind a screen, so shoot me down quick, hit the click, and bam! My reputation's deceased.
Sometimes kids can volunteer for things that are dangerous for them. It's incumbent upon adults. Yes, I mean, hey, there are very strict rules and regulations for how children are supposed to be handled, especially in entertainment, right? The presence of their parents or guardian at all times is necessary, as is someone who has experience in child welfare to make sure that the child is not being taken advantage of. They can only work for a set amount of hours in any given fucking set. They have to be able to have access to go to and from school or have a tutor on set who can also help them with that if they can't leave to be able to get to a nearby school. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff in place to protect the welfare of children, even if they're in the form of entertainment. And in this case, yes, absolutely. If someone has come out years later and been like, that's not what I signed up for. I wanted to be on stage like anyone else because she's my hero and I wanted to be near my hero. That doesn't mean that you signed up to be on the, like, your pants are falling down farting sketch just because at that moment in time, a grown adult, a 30-year-old was like, this is going to be funny. Yeah, let's do this. This is good. This is good for the live show, you know? Like, it's upon her and the other adults, it's incumbent upon them to protect the welfare of the children if they want to interact with children as a form of entertainment, which she does.
I also wanted to take a minute to talk about that girl, Miranda Sings. You know the one. Yeah, her. She's PG-13. It says that on my website, and it's always been that way. And that's why you won't find my videos on the YouTube Kids app. Anyway, I didn't realize it was my responsibility to decide what was appropriate for every kid to see. I've always relied on parents to decide.
Like, see, so gross. So gross, because, like, that's not directly what you're being fucking accused of right now. You're not addressing the actual fucked up shit, you know? Or it's like, yeah, no, you're not responsible for every single 13-year-old who watches your content if your content is 13 plus, as you are now dictating it is. You're contacting those 13-year-olds, though, right? Like, you're DMing them and forming relationships with them, and you have little groups of them that you get to do stuff for you and do work for you, and you have very, very private and intimate conversations with them. That's the problem. No one here is like, you are responsible for whatever kids do based on when they watch your content, and every single one of them has been influenced by you in some way, shape, or form.
If they're comfortable with their families watching my YouTube videos or coming to my live shows.
It's your fault, you dumb parents. Yeah, I mean, you brought the kids to my show. Okay, just because I'm going to do a bit of a weird thing where I do farts and stuff on stage and get your kids to be in uncomfortable situations, and in one sketch, actually, in particular, maybe put their hands down my pants. Hey, that's your fault. You signed up. You bought the tickets.
Have I made some jokes in poor taste? Yes. Have I made lots of dumb mistakes? Yes. Am I sad that there are some fans who feel betrayed? Yes. Was my intention to manipulate? No. It doesn't really matter what my intention was, because it seems as though everyone's already decided on that. Let me tell you, it's not very fun to have millions of people all over the world call you the most vile, horrendous, disgusting, life-ruining words that a person can be called, in my opinion. It doesn't matter that these things aren't true. Everyone just...
Zero accountability, that's the problem, right? Like, hey, there's two different scenarios, obviously. If people are unfairly calling you out, if people are just basically making up rumors based on things that you've never done, or if they're just calling you things based on, say, intrinsic values, or they're just being racist, you know, they're just attacking you because of your race, they're talking to you because of your ethnicity, they're attacking you because you happen to be a woman, they're attacking you because you're gay or lesbian or trans, or any of these things, yes, it is completely wrong that there's an overabundance of that kind of hatred that gets directed especially to public figures. We're not trying to discount any of that kind of stuff. Again, you're not addressing why people are upset. Maybe there's a handful of people who've just always hated her. Fine, for sure. Miranda Sings haters. They exist. I have no idea who Miranda Sings was as of 48 hours ago. So I am aware of this, like I think a lot of people now, and a lot of normies especially, because of this. But yeah, now I'm like, holy fuck, how long has this been going on? And yes, this has to be fucking called out, because yeah, there seems to be a very big problem, especially with massive YouTubers doing this shit. Fucking manipulating and abusing, and in some cases sexually abusing or sexually manipulating their fans and the parasocial relationship they have, especially underage ones.
Believes that you are the type of person who manipulates and abuses children. So I just wanted to say that the only thing...
This was rehearsed. She has timing, musical breaks. She has bits, moments. She changes the cadence. Parts are sung, parts are spoken verse. This is not the first time she's performed this. This is the version you get to see. She's recorded different versions of this. She's watched different versions and then gone back and then re-recorded and played, I'm assuming. But, you know, at the end of the day, of all the things I'm going to say about this fucking alleged groomer pedophile, she is a little talented, may have some perfectionism issues when making this kind of stuff. I don't know. Either way, that's really weird and fucked up, because not only did you think this was a good idea, but you wrote this and you rehearsed this, and then clearly a little bit of talent is required to do something this fucking weird. You know, yeah, this is really fucking weird. You know, I could not do my apology video in this form. I'll say that much.
I've ever groomed is my two Persian
That's why it goes so hard. I mean, that's truly why the world knows who you are now. They didn't before. Fucking Barbara Streisand over here, groomer edition. Holy shit. And it's so bad. Oh, you know why your team of highly paid individuals told you not to do this? Because before, they knew. They were like, I know in your mind this seems like a good idea. I know in your mind, but you have to understand, you pay us lots of money to be able to translate the real world to you, because you don't see the world in the same terms as everyday people. You have what we call a grandiose version of it, an almost godlike one. You know, you have 20 million fans. You have so much affirmation that comes your way that you're not used to reality. You're not used to being called out on shit. Because even if 1 or 2 fans were to call you out on some of this stuff, I'm sure they get drowned out by the other super fans who are like, how dare you? Oh, those people just want attention. Oh, it's all slander. No, none of it is true. She's a saint. She's a saint. Protect mommy. Protect weird auntie. Protect weird auntie. You know, that's what you're used to. So because of that, yeah, you're in this like position now where it makes sense that a lawyer would be like, don't speak. Don't say anything at all. In fact, just disappear for a little bit. Best possible thing you could do is not talk. Yes. What's the worst possible thing you could do? Ignore my advice and then think you were being clever and turn what I've just said into a musical. That's the worst possible thing you could do. Best possible thing, don't talk. Say nothing. Just do not, no socials, no nothing. Go on a vacation, go to Hawaii, whatever you love, chill. That's the best possible scenario.
I'm not a groomer. I'm just a
Yeah, please don't make the groomer jingle. Please. Of all things you could do, please don't make a catchy ad jingle about not grooming kids. Because nothing will make it look more like you groomed kids than you making a catchy ad jingle about you not grooming kids. Don't do that. That's it's Always Sunny in Philadelphia did a sketch on this. This is a bit. Don't do that in real life. That will become your legacy, Colleen. If you do this, this will be what people will remember you. They will not remember your Netflix show. They won't remember your character. Miranda? No, they don't even know who that is. They'll remember you as the ukulele woman who is a pedo and a groomer and did this whole fucking ratchet ass apology. Why would you do this? Again, it's good that this is scalable because, like I said, companies make these mistakes too. Sony did Morbius. Sony re-released Morbius. Sony needed internet person, just someone to translate to them, you know, just to be like, hey, by the way, this isn't what you think it is. You think it's a good idea, but it will have the opposite effect of what you want. And in this case, the lawyers, the high-paid lawyers, were the opposite of internet person. See, they were just lawyers, and they told internet person, they were like, hey, don't do this. It will have the opposite effect of what you want. And she's like, ah, I see. Sing, you say. Yes, I hear you.
who didn't understand I shouldn't respond to fans, and I'm not a predator, even though a lot of you think so, because...
You think it's she'll take it down? Well, I can't show it here, but I think I have the extension in my other browser. I'll tell you what the downvotes are.
millions of people all...
We're currently looking at... It's grown significantly since last I checked. Last I checked, I think she was being doubled in her downvotes as right. As of right now, she's effectively at negative 434,000 downvotes to 55,000 upvotes. So I don't know. It's at 3.5 million views, and it's on its way to being effectively downloaded into infinity. It's not looking good. I don't know. I can't say. Other people may have broken by now, may have seen like, oh, so was this calculated risk not paying off as I thought it would? Is this the bad thing? You know, should I leave it up? I guess I'll ask, but take it the fuck down now. Now, yesterday. Holy fuck, we told you. Why would you do this?
5 years ago, I made a fart joke.
Oh, I mean, I didn't want to, I guess I spoiled that one for everybody. Like I said, I'd pre-watched this disaster, and yeah, so that's her referencing, that's the acknowledgement right there. Oh, I'm being canceled, made a fart joke, what, fucking years ago? It's like, well, I didn't know what you were referencing because I heard this before I did the deep dive, but now that I have learnt what that fart joke actually was, shame on you, disgusting, what the fuck, all of this.
Even though I know this video won't change anyone's mind about me, I still felt it was important to come on here and defend myself a little and take accountability. And I also wanted to say that to anyone out there who has ever supported me in any capacity, I really, really appreciate you. Thank you. For what it's worth.
So at this point, I guess if you're one of the lawyers of the legal team, you'd be like, oh God, that was a disaster. That was worse than we ever fucking imagined. Oh, sir, yep. There's still a bit to go.
I never had any bad intentions.
Cool story. It doesn't really matter when the results were grooming, right? It's like, well, I didn't have bad intentions when I was grooming that kid. Okay, cool. Glad your heart was in the right place, I suppose. You still groomed, so that's what you need to address and atone for.
But I do feel like shit.
And again, it's that thing where like you in your mind thought that you would have the power in and of itself based on just how beloved you are. Just the secret combination of things. There's just the right messaging. If I talk about the toxic train, if I put in the right kind of song and pitch and then the breakdown, and then I'll make them all feel really sad for me. And then I can just be like, I didn't do anything wrong. And I still feel like I did because of how horrible you're being to me. And then everyone's going to feel really bad for me and they'll love me even more.
The toxic gossip train, you're chugging down the tracks of misinformation. Toxic gossip train, you got a one-way ticket to manipulation station. Toxic gossip train, you tied me to the tracks and harassed me for my past.
That's why this is what it is, right? That's why this is like breaking the internet right now. Because again, it's like it's someone not taking any accountability for anything serious that the victims have accused her of, and then just going real whimsical with it. And that's what makes it unique. It's a very bizarre oddity of the highest order on the internet now before the world to see. And again, we just didn't have the technology to do this 40 or 50 years ago. We couldn't pull something like this off, right? Like we needed to have the interconnectivity of the internet. We needed to have things like YouTubers and streamers. And back in the day, you know, egos like this, these self-crafted ones of their own design, they'd be of a different variety perhaps, but they wouldn't manifest in quite this way. This is a uniquely 2023 fucking disaster.
Rumors.
Theater kids got to take this out. I was a theater kid though. I don't want to be associated with this bullshit. Same way fucking ukulele players are like, hey, don't come after us, Lance. Ukuleles are based. And I was like, I'm not gonna come. Yeah, don't worry. I'm not gonna cancel the ukulele. Okay, y'all are fine. I love that Over the Rainbow rendition like everyone else. Okay, it's very sweet and touching, and it's a beautiful song. I like how it fuses the two songs together too. I hadn't heard it that way, you know. But this is still really rough and bad and fucked up. And holy shit, what made you think? And this is, you know what? Like, you know, a lot of times when we see these kind of train wrecks and then afterwards we're just like, I just want to know who let this happen. In this case, we do know. Her legal team did not want this to happen. Like, this is one of those where it's like, oh, no, I was advised against doing anything at all whatsoever. I was told, actually in very strong terms, not to do this. But I felt, why not sing? Why not sing it then?
Just look like facts when you don't mind the gaps. I won't survive in the crash, but hey. I hope you had some fun. Actually, you know, I feel like maybe I should let you guys know something. It seems like
By the way, everybody, if you want resources for people who may be experiencing child welfare issues or abuse or neglect, childwelfare.gov has a handful of resources in the US. If you're in British Columbia, it's www.gov.bc.ca/gov/content for reporting child abuse in BC. If you are going to be speaking about Indigenous children, please do not call BC Services directly. Please call an Indigenous service to help. There's a number of them. And if you have friends or family or relatives who are dealing with abuse and they happen to be Indigenous, please also refer to the Residential School Indian Survivor Society because they have a lot of resources as well that you can have access to, including a 24-hour suicide hotline that can have a lot of helpful things. The reason I specify the Indigenous issue in Canada is there's also a problem with child welfare services taking Indigenous parents' kids away when they are not necessarily at risk. So yeah, that's all very important stuff. Spread it far and wide. And again, keep spreading the messaging that a lot of people who are abused as children are abused by family members. Stop trying to push this all on the LGBTQ+. And by the way, famous YouTubers need to have their egos checked on a very regular basis. We need something in place.
Maybe you're confused about something. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I watched Adam McIntyre's the start of it, but like it's a parody video where he's poorly playing the ukulele and there's a lot less.
Let me try to help. Sometimes people make a mistake and it doesn't make them a horrible person.
If she was queer, she would have been torn from limb to limb. Oh, you would not hear the end of this. Oh, wait, what story? Have they not been doing this story? Has not everyone been doing this story? Not every single right-winger? Isn't this what they always talk about? This is the kind of thing they always mention. Groomers, pedophiles. Hey, we got ourselves an actual groomer, a famous celebrity groomer, if that. So this should be the exact story that I would assume every single one of them. Shoe-on-Head's going to do something big on this, right? Shoe-on-Head's probably made like, what, 20 or 30 posts? I saw she was really, really angry the other day about those people who were really tastelessly saying that we're coming after your kids at that gay pride parade, which, by the way, optics on that probably shouldn't do that right now. Seems like a very dangerous time to do those kind of things that the right could probably weaponize and use. But lo and behold, the right doesn't even need to because they get that from Shoe-on-Head, who's like, hey, by the way, the organization that these people belong to is also a groomer organization. I was like, thanks, Shoe-on-Head. Always showing up to do the heavy lifting for the right so that they have exactly what they need to go and run with the whole gay people are pedophiles and groomers narrative that they're already going to run with. Always just giving them that little high five, you know, you just show up and then it's like, hey, yeah, there you go, I'm good, I'm out here. You just disappear into the distance. But hey, guess what? Boom, here we got it. Groomers. We got fucking groomers. Once again, cishets. Overwhelmingly, always cishets, by the way. Seems to be that the groomers are the cishets. Cishets are groomers. Groomers are cishets. Cishets are groomers. Wow. Now we're learning.
Whoa. Sometimes people can make a mistake and they're still a good person. Crazy, I know. Sometimes people can make a mistake and you don't have to take that mistake. Oh no, and twist it up and grind it and add some lies to it and pulverize it and stab it with knives and ruin a life and oh no.
Like I said, zero accountability, right? Like it's not even you addressing it directly, you know? It's not you being like, so here's what I've been accused of, and I want to come clean about this, come ahead of it, actually, and explain why I was having an inappropriate relationship with a 13-year-old at the time, and continue that inappropriate relationship for 3-4 years. I exploited their labor. I made sexual advances towards them. I sent them underwear. All of this is incredibly inappropriate. And to be honest, at this point, now that I'm saying all of this out loud, I should probably turn myself into the authorities after doing this for so long. I was definitely taking advantage of my position of power as a content creator. I was utilizing the character Miranda Sings in an inappropriate manner. And I knew at the time that the majority of my fan base was younger and skewed younger because I said it multiple times. And I was friends with a lot of my younger fans who, again, age ranged 13 to 16. That's not appropriate. There you go. That's what you should be addressing. Not, did you get me to suffer enough? Have I bled for you? Am I on the cross? Could I be your personal Jesus? I am on the cross and it's oh so hard to suffer for you. I am the one true Lord. Look at me, everyone. Jesus, your Lord and Savior. Like, that's what she did. She went with the second one the whole fucking time. You know? It's fucked up.
Sometimes people can make a mistake. It doesn't mean you gotta send them hate. Oh no. Sometimes people can make a mistake and you can kindly let them know and help them to grow.
Okay. Challenge accepted. What you did was highly inappropriate. You should begin a process now, not only seeking help, but also finding out what form of restorative justice will be necessary to help the victims in this case, of which there are a number of them, the victims who feel that they were both either mentally and physically abused by you, and in one case, physically and sexually in another method, abused by you, as well as propositioned sexually by you. These are children at the time, now they are adults, and they seem to have a lot of problems that came from this, including PTSD. You could work towards whatever it takes in order to, again, restore justice in this case. That could be the start of this, and not try to call out some weird fucking bloodthirsty mob who's only doing this because they want to see you bleed. That's called victim blaming and discounting the truth. And, oh yeah, the one you said, gaslighting. You're gaslighting your victims in real time. You made a song where you gaslight victims of abuse. That's what this is. This video, period, on the YouTubes with what, 2.8? It's 3.5 now. 3.5 million views is a song where you gaslight your victims. That's what this is. YouTube has a video on their system, which again has 3 million views, where you are gaslighting your victims.
Sometimes people make mistakes simply because they made a mistake. And that mistake doesn't make them a terrible human. It just makes them a human.
Is it bad taste to place bets on which YouTuber falls next? Well, you know what? If it's a good YouTuber, if it's a good person who's wholesome, I can't take any more of those, okay? This one's fine by me. I have no idea who the fuck this is. And this story is just such a wild rabbit hole that all night last night I was like, what the fuck? How does this happen for so long and no one notices? How do you have an empire? How did it get to the point of a Netflix show? You sat down in fucking a Netflix executive office, fucking right across from all of those lawyers and board members and fucking bigwigs who were just sitting there like, all right, we gotta say, Colleen, we love Miranda. Miranda. Oh, we want to be in business with you. We want this shit. We figure this could be the next big thing, all right? Now, fair enough, target demographics, we've seen a little bit of difficulty in translating the YouTube style humor and stuff, but we have a great idea. We got a team of people who's going to work with you. We're going to put a lot of money behind this. We are backing it 110%. Are you going to meet us halfway with your socials? Get out there, make a whole bunch of on the street shit, you know, talk. We know that you have a really young audience. We pulled with demographics are like something, what, like 12 to fucking 18 range. Very, very lucrative market we could get onto if their parents are on board, if they find that you're something they want to spend money on. We are on board with this. Let's do it. If that all fucking took place, that happened, and Netflix at no point was able to determine that anything sus was happening behind the scenes, nothing suspicious in any of this, you know, mildly. This story is one of those things where fucking like, you would not be known by half the internet right now. Like half the internet who wouldn't know who the fuck you were. I wouldn't. I would never fucking find this shit out if it wasn't for the fucking, the musical. If it wasn't for the fucking, the gaslighting YouTube musical, you know? But did she do fuck kids? No, she never, well, I mean, she definitely sexually assaulted one victim, but in the other case, she groomed them for a very long time, getting them to do a whole bunch of unpaid labor for her, and also she did try to foster a sexual relationship in some ways. She was asking that other kid, a 13-year-old boy, by the way, whether or not, you know, they were a virgin, what their favorite sex positions were. They were asking them for photos and stuff like that. Yes, groomed and highly inappropriate, attempted sexual relationship with one kid, sexually assaulted another kid on a stage. Those are the two that are like, have publicly come forward with receipts. By the way, other people have wanted to remain anonymous, but have also said that she had inappropriate relationships with them. Turns out the rest of the family has too. It's a whole fucking family of creeps and weirdos who have all this fucking power, being these internet celebrities. And like, again, like just the audacity holding a ukulele and think this was an idea. That not only should you not think this, like you shouldn't like just have this as a vision, you know, just being like, whoa, I figured this one out. Yeah, so even though I'm credibly accused of being a groomer by multiple fans, and there's all these receipts, and there was this whole Discord group, and I was calling them the weenies, and there was all these fucking things that they're gonna put out there and show that I was being really, really fucked up about. You know what could really turn the tides here? Song. This requires song. It's time It's time to heal. You know, it's time to heal both myself and my career, and really put the blame on the parents. Yeah. Why did you buy tickets to my show? Wait. Why did you buy tickets to my show? Oh, that's nice. Why would you do that? You're a bunch of deadbeats. I never wanted to see pictures of your kids' feet. Yeah, that's good. Oh, yeah, okay, this is going to work. I got this. We're good. All right, here we go. Let's do this shit.
What do I know? Fuck me, right?
Yes. As in, you should fucking go seek help. Fuck you, you fucking groomer ass pedophile, allegedly. But I don't see anything beyond this is disgusting, you know? Like, the list is fucking long.
Toxic gossip train.
Okay, so I was not gonna make this video when I sat down today, but I
just want to see Kat
making
and
this
Noah
video
Sampson's
just
takes.
because I
'Cause
feel
everyone said
like
Noah Sampson apparently had the wrong take on this one, and that strikes me as interesting because Noah Sampson usually has very good takes. But what this requires is someone who can come from a position of love. Myself, I'm a fan of both Kat Black and Noah Sampson, and see where they in fact were not correct, because I am the one true arbiter of all things.
just witnessed one of the most bizarre things I think I've ever seen on YouTube. And that's saying a lot as a person who can say that they've been on YouTube for most of their life.
It's maybe the weirdest, it's one of the weirdest, okay? It's up there with Jake Paul decided, you know what's a good idea? I should go to a forest in Japan called the Suicide Forest, and I should film people committing suicide, and then I should put that onto my YouTube channel. And along the way, fucking, did no one tell you? Did no one say at any given point, oh, yeah, as much as that would be dope and or fly, dog, I gotta say that maybe this won't be all the juice. Like, if we monster for 2069 this, we could get in a lot of trouble. I'm just gonna say, you know, that's how they talked back then, right? I'm of a different generation, you see.
Following
We say the bee's knees.
Colleen Ballinger situation. I was never a huge fan of Miranda Sings. Of course, I've appreciated what Colleen has been able to do with her YouTube. She's been able to use her YouTube channel and make it something so much larger, and she's one of the very few people that I've actually seen do that. So if I can say something about her, I can say that I've at the very least appreciated her from afar in theory. I say in theory because, as it turns out, Colleen Ballinger is not the greatest person. More recently, there have been a handful of creators calling her out for previous bad behavior, and one of the main accusations is that she is a groomer. And you know, I've looked at some of this stuff, and I'm just gonna say this. Colleen Ballinger is an OG YouTuber, and as somebody who has been on YouTube as long as she's been on YouTube, I will just say that there have not really been very clear rules about how we do this whole YouTube thing. These days, it's really popular for people to be a YouTuber, and being a YouTuber is a job. But back then, when we started making content, not a lot of people were really...
I just had to look up inflation fetish. God's balls, I'm so innocent. Yeah, come on. That's one of those things where it's in the name. When you like, you know, when you hear it, it's what you think. There's some of them where like, have you heard of the da-da-da? And you're like, no, what is that? It's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. You're like, oh, what? No, ew, oh, no, God, no. Oh, sorry, no, I gotta go to church. It's something. I gotta get that. But that's one of those where it's like, you get what you see on the tin, you know?
seriously considering becoming famous in the way that a YouTuber.
I thought it was another term for Bidenomics.
Maybe famous in the way that
like
a reality TV star would become famous back in the day, but not in.
No, Republicans are obsessed with fucking impregnation fetish. Impregnation. No question. All the tradcons, all the fucking Elon Musks and the fucking Tucker Carlsons, all of them are just like, we need to birth, we need to impregnate the world, impregnate the femoids. Every womb is a potential child.
In the way that a YouTuber would become famous, in a way where you're encouraged to have constant social interaction with your audience. And so to some degree, as a creator, I can understand her not always
I know this isn't new info to us, but I've gotten so many requests for the playlist, so I'm posting it again for all the sub members. Glad you're here. The entire YouTube channel was deleted October 16th, 2022, shortly after it was discovered, posted about, and then circulating on social media. My question now, months later, is given how he had uploaded, this is her father, by the way, Colleen's father, uploaded multiple videos for his grandchildren. Did the grandkids have access to his channel unattended and see his kink playlist? If so, I hope they talked about it with adults and got an appropriate answer, but of course I hope they didn't see it. Tim Ballinger kink public playlist. What the fuck?
Is knowing how to navigate that. But the part I don't understand, and this is something I haven't really understood about her in general, is there's no part of me that would feel comfortable having sexual conversations with people who are underage. Colleen Ballinger, even within the context of her own work, which is often created and presented as for kids, has said and done a lot of very sexually inappropriate things.
Yes, no, alarm bells, absolutely. I like, you know, we got to take this one step further. Like, there's, I don't know if Cat's just catching up to like the overwhelming amount of evidence at this point, but like, yes, it's already weird to me that someone who's in their 30s would want to have direct contact and personal one-on-one relationships with 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds. Like, if you want to say that this person, like, hey, I want to make content for young adults, that in and of itself, that's not a bad thing. Fine, go out there and write the great young adult novel. You know, you can do this. Someone has to beat Joanne. Get out there and fucking make that bag and you know, write an inspiring story that everyone can love. Fine. That's very different than a 30-year-old being like, okay, so I'm a character. I play a teenager, but I'm an adult. It's like, okay. And that teenager appeals to teenagers. They really like the character. They like watching an adult act like a teenager. And it's like, okay. And now I'm going to DM a whole bunch of my young fans who love my character. It's like, whoa, okay, stop. That one. Why? Why do you want a personal relationship with 13-year-olds? You're 30. There's nothing positive to come from this, honestly. I mean, like, you're not even presenting it in such a way where it's like, because I want to help. Like, yeah, well, people are saying Michael Jackson shit. Even Michael Jackson had a fucking cover. Even Michael Jackson was like, oh, well, this is because I need to help all these, like, you know, kids who have broken homes, and I want to give them money, and I want to give them, you know, the ability to fucking have all the fantasies that they ever dreamed of. So now there's a zoo and roller coaster rides and like a movie theater and blah, blah, blah. And this is just the world I live in. It's Neverland, blah, blah, blah. You know, the same way that like fucking Tim Pool does it for fucking skaters. He's like, I'm going to develop a skate park and you're all going to come here and I'm going to raise chickens and it's going to be the start of the Civil War and it's going to be amazing, and why do Nazis love my show? Like, okay, sure, there's different people who do different things, but in this case it's like you're just DMing them and you're not even publicly with some kind of excuse. When caught, she's just like, oh, I didn't know that this was inappropriate to do. Oh, see, I was new to this. I've had a public life for a long time, and sure, it's cringe. Why don't you think of me as the creepy aunt? So I'm the creepy aunt. I was the creepy aunt the whole time. Yeah, the creepy aunt, the one who's creepy at the dinner parties. But you're referring to like the one who people suspect may be a child abuser? I don't understand why you want to be referred to as the creepy aunt or the creepy uncle. Why would anyone? Like, even as a joke. What? So you're saying we should look out for you then? Well, that's what I think of when someone says the creepy aunt. I'm not like, oh yeah, the creepy aunt we should invite. No, like, oh, okay, yeah, no, let's make sure we don't invite that aunt. She has a long and sordid history of doing fucked up shit.
Oh, the cream shot out of my package. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. It landed on my buns. I like them extra sticky.
Well, if you squeeze harder, more will come out.
Oh, good idea.
And I get where that's coming from, but it just gave me the ick, so.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't know about that. Ew, what?
I just was never fully interested.
Yeah, she's a willing Uncle Jack, you know? Just like IRL. So like when I see Uncle Jack, I laugh in shock. It's like shock humor. It's like, holy fuck, they're developing this character based around not only his own inadequacies as a fucking failed lawyer, but as being a fucking someone who's been trying to abuse Charlie his entire life. And I'm just like, oh my fucking god, I can't believe this is a joke and this is the way they're framing this entire character. Who watches that and is like, oh, yeah, I feel seen. You feel seen? Colleen? No. Oh, that's bad. That's a bad thing. By the way, Adam did a ukulele response. We're not gonna have time to watch the entire thing, obviously.
the only way she'll listen. So I thought I'd give it a go. For 3 years.
A lot of people are saying some things about me that aren't quite true.
Literally what was not true.
Doesn't matter if it's true though, just as long as it's entertaining to you.
Why was any of this entertaining?
Right?
Who are you talking to?
You guys having fun?
Not as much fun as you're having since you've wrote a song.
All aboard the toxic gossip train.
So now we're getting on a train.
You're chugging down the tracks of misinformation. The toxic gossip train. You got
A short but excellent one. It's already parodies, eh? Obviously. How could there not be? The fuck? Tee. Nice! Bop it. Bop it. Nice. It's gonna get harder. It's gonna get faster.
I didn't do shit.
I want to express my sincere gratitude for your heartfelt apology. Your words have deeply touched me, and I truly appreciate the effort you put into acknowledging the pain and discomfort caused by your actions. It takes courage and humility to admit when you are wrong, and your willingness to do so speaks volumes about your character. I want you to know that I wholeheartedly accept your apology and the strength it takes to confront our mistakes, and I believe that forgiveness and understanding are essential in fostering growth and healing. I acknowledge the sincerity behind your words, and I want to emphasize that I hold no grudges or ill feelings towards you. We all make mistakes along our journey, and what matters is how we choose to learn from them. Your apology demonstrates a genuine commitment to personal growth. With warm regards, Gabby Balls. Gabby Balls. Dear Gabby Balls, I'm deeply moved by your gratitude-filled response to my heartfelt apology. Your words of understanding and acceptance bring me immense joy and relief. Thank you for recognizing the effort I put in. I feel the same way. Truly touching when a content creator can come forward and discuss their mistakes wholeheartedly. A gorgeous apology. Definitely one for the books. Okay, let's see what Samson said with the last 10 minutes we got. Where are you, Samson?
Hi everyone. I've been wanting to come on
your team, your management, always. This is what separates e-celebrities from real celebrities. Real celebrities always stick to the PR brief, and e-celebs do wild shit. Like
True! True, he's not wrong on that. Untethered, as it were, to the nightmare of their agents. Yes, but they move by a different beat. They're too used to being self-offers, I feel. And the speed at which the internet doth move, that everyone's just gotta be ADHD about it all, right? Can't spend too much time being like, is this truly going to be in my self-interest? It's like, what, your ukulele groomer apology song? Get the fuck out there and sing! You know?
Bonds to child grooming allegations with a
I mean, Ye? Oh, yes, Ye is a great example of that.
Although I will say, if
Although,
Ezra Miller...
Ye's a fusion, if you will, because Ye's actually not internet famous. Ye is famous. He's one of the most famous human beings alive today. And Ye is a great combination of the internet and the legacy media, and what happens with both when interacting with someone in the midst of a massive ass meltdown. But Tucker Carlson started. You got to remember, Tucker Carlson was the first interview, and then in that interview, Ye did say a bunch of anti-Semitic stuff, but Tucker edited it out, and then I guess he just with a smile was like, I've done a good thing. You know, I got what I wanted. He basically said white lives matter. I've wanted to hear that from a famous black celebrity my entire life. He said it. I melted. It was an incredible moment. We connected. It was kind of a big thing for the two of us. And then boom, he's on to Tim Pool. Tim Pool's what, lasts 15 minutes tops before the, you know what I mean when I say they, right? Tim's like, I'm kind of racist like you, but not as racist as you. What are we doing here? And then that one was the disaster. Then it goes on to Alex Jones, and of course, like, he doesn't mean that he actually loves Hitler, folks. He loves the costumes. He's talking about the uniforms. Definitely the uniforms. He's not saying that he loves Hitler. Oh no, Alex Jones, you got to understand. You're totally wrong. I actually love Hitler, and that's what I'm talking about, Alex Jones. I'm talking about how much I love Hitler, folks. He's joking. He's joking. Oh, what a clown this guy is. Yeah. What is this? Benjamin Netanyahu. Oh, no, I get it. He's funny, right? And then finally, it ended with Gavin McInnes. Oh, Gavin McInnes, he thought he could steer the whole course, you know, get that into that sweet anti-Semitism that all of them were trying to get towards. They basically wanted to normalize the idea of that the Jewish people controlled the media. They wanted that just to be a normal sentence that people just say. But unfortunately, the opposite happened, where they're like, so people who think that conspiracy theory seem to also really be okay with Nazis. And so that's what really happened. And that's why it was beautiful in a lot of ways. It worked out in the end, considering that, like, for everything bad that could have happened there, you know, Ye went too far.
Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form. Available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback, because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free. Just like the podcast.
Thank you kindly to our Lord and Saviors Peyton L. Just and Xander Corvus. Without you, we are nothing. And now, a shout out to our Knights of the Square Table. Amazing Flesh, Anna Loves Riley, Adrian McCarthy, DM Rivera, Doug Cady, Everything Important, Hegbard Celine, Izzy Solidarity, La Media Panza, Matthew Scarborough, Multimondi, Nettle, Omni, Peanut Butter Blonde, Political Papi, Quiet 185, Rachel K, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Kubi, Cernicus, Spinach Monster, Stellar Vision, Sebastian Demmel, Thomas, Trevbot EXE, Lucidry, Words Greenwood, Cheryl Alvarez, Tony Perkins, Thomas, O'Pecker, Travis McClinton, and Victoria Bell. Thank you so much. And a huge shout out to all the other people who make this entire show possible. Without you, it would not exist. If you can support us, please go to patreon.com/theserfs, and even $1 can help unlock all of the little goodies and help make this show entirely possible.